Morning, guys. Sorry I'm not going to be there today, but I did want to make sure that we didn't miss out on the chance to review the argument essay. So what I'm going to do is take you through the basic expectations of the argument essay. Then you are going to take a look at a sample essay that from one of your fellow students. This scored a 7. So you're going to be reading through that essay, and it is your copy to keep. So please annotate on it, looking for what did they do that earned them a 7, but it's not a perfect essay. So also what could they do to improve it and to have gotten the 9? And you're going to use this as a model for taking a look at your argument essay, which is the third essay in your packets, going through your essay and looking for ways that you could get your essay up to the 7 and hopefully even higher into the 9 range. So make sure that you're looking at their organization, the types of examples they used, look at their syntax, so how they structured their sentences, whether it was elevated language or normal to low language, and think about ways to improve yours. Because remember, you get to choose one of your essays to rewrite. Even if you're not going to choose your argument essay, I still want you to look at the sample essay and then look at your argument essay and write on your essay ways that you want to improve it. All right, so let's go ahead and get started with the expectations of the argument essay. You guys know that the argument essay, you're expected to defend, challenge, or qualify. Qualify meaning you agree, but only under certain circumstances, or you disagree, but only under certain circumstances. Remember, that takes a little bit more time, so I suggest that you focus on defending or challenging, meaning to agree or disagree. Okay. The essay organization is pretty basic. We've been working on this since the beginning of the year. Your introduction should have your context. Most of you did a good job on your essays of giving like why this topic is important, why you were driven to write this. Then you want to give your acknowledgement plus your thesis. So you would start it off with, although the other side believes this, end your acknowledgement or concession, comma, I feel that whatever, and that would be your thesis. Okay. Ms. Washington, as I told you guys last time, was really impressed with how many of my students included acknowledgments or concessions. So an easy way to just kind of check that box, because that does give you kind of help to elevate your score, is as your first body paragraph, make that your acknowledgement or your concession. Remember, acknowledgement is here's what the other side says, but a concession says here's what the other side gets right. So you can mix and match that if you want. If you prefer to put your acknowledgement or concession in your body paragraphs, that's fine. In fact, that actually shows a little bit more elevated style. But if you just want to knock it out and get it out of the way, do that. So make sure when you're looking at your own essays that you included acknowledgement or concession. Okay. After that paragraph, you then have your minimum of 2 body paragraphs that are on a topic. They should hopefully have multiple pieces of evidence and a thorough explanation of each. Don't forget the rhetorical the rhetorical triangle that we talked about last time, where first you show what your quote is doing, then you show the effect of that quote, and then how does that effect serve the purpose, which would be your thesis. Okay, and then with your conclusions, I don't think anybody had a problem with this. It's a one sentence wrap up. Make sure that sentence is doing an emotional or ethical relevance, or perhaps a call to action. Okay. All right. Big thing that we did notice is make sure that you're using appropriate evidence. Your evidence should be history, current events, science, technology, music, sports, human behavior. If you've really got nothing else to say, you can use that personal experience, but these are really your better choices. And notice on the sample essay that you've been given, they have better evidence, which helped score that up from a 5 or 6 into that 7 range. Use your APUSH classes. Listen to NPR on the way to school and on the way home for just these next couple of weeks so you have something else to say rather than my cousin's friend did this. Okay. You can use your science classes and make analogies between science, things that happen in science, and what's happening in your argument essay. You can talk about technology. You can compare it to song lyrics, sports, athletes, as well as analogies, human behavior. Any of you in the psychology classes, you can use any of those things, and that's going to be better evidence, and that's going to help your score. Sorry. We already know about concession and rebuttal. Make sure that you don't have to worry about double reference. So we won't even talk about that. Now let's take a look at the punch list. Anybody who knows about construction knows that before they finish a house, they have a punch list. It's all the things that they have to get finished before they can be finished with the house and sell it. So here's your punch list for your argument essay. Make sure that you are using concrete evidence. We had a lot of people who talked about their feelings, but they never, or what they thought, but they never gave any good evidence to back that up. So remember your history, your literature, your current events, etc. Make sure, this is something Ms. Washington pointed out, make sure that your body paragraphs are driven by your reason, not your evidence. Okay, so your reason that public discourse will help public policy is because the government will finally see what the people really think. And then you have evidence talking about the protests in downtown Charlotte back in the fall. So it's not the protests in downtown Charlotte did this, it is the reason, and then your evidence backs up your reason. Okay. Also, make sure we talked about this just a minute ago. Make sure that your explanations are strong. Do not assume that your reader understands where you're going with something. You really need to clearly state it. So use that rhetorical triangle. What is it doing? What is your evidence doing? What is the effect? And then how is that helping the purpose? And also don't forget your concession and rebuttal. Okay. Any questions? Let me know next time I see you, which will be next week. Otherwise, once again, now that you've watched this video, you're then taking a look at the sample essay. It is a 7. So annotate that essay for what they did right, and then what could have gotten them up to the 9. Then use this sample as a guide for you on your argument essay, which is your last essay in the packet, a guide for you on your essay to how do you get yours up to the 7 and hopefully surpass it up to the 9. All right, guys, see you next week.